Hi to everyone who's early. We're going to wait a few minutes because we're expecting a lot of people. We'll get started in just a few. Bonnie, do you want to message or text me when you feel like enough people have logged in that we're expecting?
Yeah, I can just tell you actually. We have 16 on
Okay.
right now. Maybe
Okay,
I give it 2 more minutes and then we can get started. How's that sound?
that sounds great. Thank you.
They're steadily coming in, so this is great.
Thank you. Hi to everyone who's just joined. We're expecting a lot of Vision Council members today, so we're just going to give it another minute until everyone's had a chance to log on, and we'll be getting started.
Actually, things have kind of slowed, so if you want to get started, I think we'll be okay. We've got 23 on now. People may pop in and out, so
Okay.
it's good to have everybody
Sounds
here.
Yeah, thank you, Bonnie. Thanks to everyone who's already joined. We are going to get started. We're expecting several more members to join as well. I just want to welcome you all. I am so thrilled to be able to share all of this information with you today about Vision Expo East taking place in just a month in Orlando. A few just notes on how this is going to go today. First of all, we are recording this session, and it is extremely comprehensive. After the fact, we will post it on the Vision Council website. So if you see things in here that you want to refer back to, or you want to share it with members of your teams, it will be posted on the Vision Council website. So look out for that and feel free to share it. We are taking questions. There's a Q&A function in Zoom. My team is on, Suzanne Kraus from the show team, Chelsea Pillsbury from the communications team, and Bonnie Whitfield from membership. We are all here, and they will be monitoring the questions. We think we're going to answer all of your questions with this presentation. If we don't, please put them in the chat. And then after I get through the presentation, I'll respond to the things that you post in the Q&A. So just to get started, in advance, as I'm shivering here in Washington, D.C. at our offices where it is in the 20s, I am so excited to welcome the industry to Orlando next month. We'll talk about what's going to happen in Orlando and what we've really leaned into. You'll see some visuals on what to expect on the show floor. You'll see a complete lineup of what is really exceptional programming, our special events, and our new initiatives, plus everything that we have done as an organization and with our board of directors to make sure that this is a successful event for all of you, our exhibitors, and also for all of our attendees and the industry at large. So I want to thank the board of directors because this decision to move Vision Expo East out of New York City to Orlando was made a year and a half ago, really. And it was based on our direct feedback from our customers, you, the exhibitors, as well as our attendees, that we needed to find a place where we could deliver a different experience for the community. And so Orlando presented that opportunity. In addition, it gives us a sense of much closer campus style feel to the show. Whereas in New York, you were lucky if you saw people at the Javits, but then you spent the next 45 minutes in a cab and you might not see that person again. This really gets us an opportunity to keep the community closer together. It's much more convenient. We also saw a huge opportunity, the number of practices in the Southeast region of the US, plus an opening into the Caribbean and Latin America. We also know that over half of our attendees to Vision Expo when it was in New York traveled to get there. So we know that travel is not an obstacle for our attendee base. And we really feel like this will be able to deliver a much improved and different experience. Um, and I'll show you exactly how we're going to do that in a second. Um, Really, we wanted to lean in to the things that make this industry and this show completely different from any other event that takes place in optical. We bring everyone together at this show, and our new brand and our new location and all of our programming, our exhibit hall will show you exactly how we really are the the place for innovation, fashion, and community. Before I go into all of the enhancements, I really want to thank the board of directors for their support, not only in helping us make the decision based on the business case to move the show, but also in their support for the Vision Council to invest additional dollars to make sure that this show is a good one for all of you. And so the board, over several discussions, approved and authorized an additional above and beyond investment in this show outside of what our typical budget is. And that really was vetted very carefully around very specific objectives. And the first and most important is to improve the experience for the exhibitor and the attendee. And so you'll see that in a moment, how we're doing that. The other thing that we wanted to do is make sure we were supporting attendance. And so we have made significant investments into driving attendance of of most influential buyers in the industry. So thank you to the board for supporting this show. We also wanted to reimagine completely this show. Like we've long been saying since we announced the move that this isn't just packing up from New York and moving in the exact same experience, just in a different location. You will see a totally new show floor where we've really leaned into eyewear, including the fashion brands that you know and love, our stalwarts that are always there, our high-end designers who are also joining us, and an emphasis on independent. In this particular case, we were able to just launch a partnership with Accessories Council, where Karen Giberson is doing a photo shoot, in fact, next week at our executive summit, featuring all of the brands, the fashion brands, eyewear brands that will be on display at Vision Expo East. So we're really excited about our fashion play. It's a big part of our industry, but not not any different than how big of a play healthcare and eye care is for our industry. And you'll see that in our medical pavilion. We really continue to support the optometrist as they step into increased practice areas. The show floor will have everything that they need there. Tech and innovation will be on full display, including on the show floor and also through programming, which leads us to our main stage hub, which will really be the heart of this show and features almost nonstop programming for every type of business and every type of product and category that's coming online in optical. I also want to extend a huge thank you to the Vision Council members and the divisions who brought new and exciting concepts really to the show that we haven't done before. The first is the Indie Lab Pavilion. This came right from our Lens Lab and LPT division. They have been telling us at the board level that there is green grass sprouting up in the lab community, and brand new independent labs are thriving and growing and expanding. And the show absolutely needs to do something to engage them. And so we have created the Indie Lab Pavilion and Lounge. I will show you in a moment what that looks like. Similarly, thanks to Matthew Kuhn on our board and our over-the-counter division, we're launching an over-the-counter showcase. This is really to start to expand the show to make sure that we're engaging all segments of optical, not just prescription, and that we're bringing a different set of retail buyers into the show and delivering for them. I'll show you that in a moment as well. We have our launch pad, which is really focused on technology and innovation. We continue to offer our partnership with Opticon, which now, thankfully, after the unification of opticianry under the United Opticians Association, we now get to be the home and the touchstone for the entire opticianry community at Vision Expo, and we're thrilled about it. The Vision Council, of course, will be on full display, and we have launched a brand new V-Bar, which will be open full-time throughout the show, and hosting several networking events. Here is the Indie Lab Pavilion and Lounge. We are really pleased to present it. It is a speakeasy concept. It is sold out, which is testament to what our lab members have been telling us. It will be a place for independent labs to meet, gather, talk to independent practices, and really talk about the value proposition of the independent lab. It will be front and center, or I guess it will be adjacent to the front and center main stage, and also where the V-Bar will be taking place. So definitely in a high traffic area, there will be a lot going on, and we're really, really grateful to our members for bringing this concept to reality. In addition, I mentioned the over-the-counter showcases. This is, I think, a really good example of how we are able to create things that aren't the standard way of doing business that you're used to at the show, and really speaks to how we're trying to evolve this show to be more reflective of how you want to do business. So the over-the-counter showcases, there are still some available. They will be on the other side of the main stage at the back of the hall where the V-Bar is, and also the speakeasy for the labs. This is our opportunity really for the non-RX community to come showcase product, talk to buyers. We're supporting it with a panel discussion that is moderated by Women's Wear Daily. We're still looking for panelists, by the way. Over-the-counter showcase exhibitors are also able to participate in the Accessories Council feature. And the cost to participate is $2,000, which means you can bring your product in, put it in the showcase, spend your time doing business at the show, and start to help us grow this show beyond just prescription going into the future. There is still absolutely an opportunity to be a part of this. I will show you at the end of this presentation who you should contact to be a part of it, but we are really, really excited to offer these two new features and think that they'll be really popular because the back of the show is really supported with a lot of great activities, and I haven't even gotten to the programming yet. I'd like to thank Zeiss for being creative and taking advantage of the ability to offer a totally different food and beverage experience because we've moved to Orlando. They're offering the Zeiss German Beer Garden. We have a French-inspired Confiserie Cafe. I mentioned earlier the V-Bar, all-day coffee, daily happy hours right near the main stage. It's going to keep the floor alive and definitely worth staying throughout the day. We're also finally able to execute on an idea that had continued to come up at the show committee level. We're finally able to bring food trucks up to to the exhibit hall, so there's an opportunity to go outside, grab something to eat, but stay on property and not necessarily have to leave the show like in other venues. I will tell you about all of the social events, but there will be dedicated happy hours this year, specifically as a result of feedback we got from our conference attendees. They come in, they told us they take their education and then they walk out and they're not really sure how to get engaged and connect and network and experience the show. And so these dedicated conferee happy hours will be taking place as well to make sure that we're boosting engagement there. Of course, you can always come find the Vision Council team. They will be in our booth at the back of the hall as well in the resource area. So programming, as I mentioned, was a huge investment that the board really wanted us to make. We were really thrilled to announce this week that our keynote speaker will be Venus Williams. We've gotten a tremendous response from this already. We are all really excited. We think she is absolutely the embodiment of really the personality of optical and the optical business. She embodies innovation, she embodies lifestyle, she embodies performance. And of course, she is very famous for her fashion as well. She will be on stage at 4:30 on Friday. We know that this will keep the hall busy. It's why we're doing it when we're doing it. And we're really incredibly excited to welcome Venus to our community. And it's my understanding that she is really excited to be part of this too, which has been a wonderful experience negotiating. The main stage programming, as I mentioned, it will be going on almost nonstop, but a specific call out. We're bringing the Doniger group to the main stage this year. Previously, this had taken place off-site as part of the division meetings the day before the show. We wanted to bring this to the main stage because we feel that not only can exhibitors take advantage of this trends presentation, but we really believe that the buyers, retailers, and practices, all the opticians, I think that they'll really benefit from this as well. You can see here all of our general sessions. We have an indie lab panel, the fashion shows, the flaunt the frames, they'll be there. We'll also be doing our Now Awards, which have only gotten bigger, and I'll speak to that in a minute. That will be presented on the main stage. All of that's Thursday. On Friday, we'll be doing a state of the industry presentation. It has previously been called the all-member meeting. It is for members, but really that's where we will take the time to do a deep dive into the latest data and insights from our research program, as well as the relevant regulatory affairs and government relations activities that you all need to know about. So that will take place all member meeting. That's how we'll start Friday. You'll see we're talking about what the consumer is doing on the internet and what they're looking for, which is really interesting based on their search history, what's trending. You can see here we have AI. I'm thrilled to do the Opticon College Bowl and engage opticianry students. The panel discussion that I mentioned with the over-the-counter group, moderated by Women's Wear Daily. Leo is back with us again. We think that's always an incredible session. Another fashion show, and then we'll end the day with our keynote speaker, and that just gets us to Friday. Just a highlight on the fashion shows and then the categories for the Now Awards. We've gotten a tremendous response. So thank you all for entering. Thank you all for sending product. Nico Rosselier is curating it as we speak, and it is completely aligned with the editorial that we're doing with the Accessories Council as well. So huge emphasis on trends and fashion. You can see them all here. And I mentioned Opticon, and again, our continued support and commitment to ensuring that the U of A views us as their home. We really continue to believe that opticianry is critical in all of our businesses, and to support them is just a no-brainer for us. But they've also completely reinvigorated their programming, so we have quite a bit to present to opticians at the show this year. Okay, so Vision Council business. We will be doing division meetings for our members on the Wednesday, the day prior to show opening, which is a reminder that the show dates are now in a more preferable pattern per our exhibitor and attendee feedback. Our show is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So our member business will take place on Wednesday. You can see the schedule here, and you'll likely have already gotten some email communications from us about this. But you will get more, I'm sure, in the next month. But anyone from your team is encouraged to participate in division meetings. It doesn't have to just be the CEO or the person who usually goes. These meetings are always very helpful for us to hear what's going on in your environment and how the Vision Council can better serve you, and also to help set agenda for our planning and programming throughout the year. We're also thrilled and incredibly grateful that all of our pre-existing partners have come with us to Orlando. Again, this is something that completely differentiates Vision Expo from any other event in optical. And so we will kick it off in grand fashion with OWA's Champagne Breakfast taking place Wednesday morning. This is taking place at one of the hotels that's just connected to the convention center. So you'll very much feel what I keep describing as the campus feeling. All of the events are centrally located. I want to thank Vision Monday for bringing its leadership summit to Vision Expo this year. A very, very interesting program on deck and just a full day of programming pre-show. And then also I want to thank Jeff Todd and Prevent Blindness for bringing the Person of Vision dinner also to Vision Expo this year. That will also take place Wednesday, honoring everyone's favorite Howard Purcell. We mentioned parties, and this is something that we really think we can do totally differently and so much better in Orlando, and there are several of them. The opening night party, open to everyone. Tell all of your customers, tell your buyers, tell your teams. You should all come. Everyone should be there. We're really looking to centralize this and have it as a touchstone for the entire event. But there's so much going on there on multiple levels. Literally in this venue, there are many levels. Lots of music. There is a very specific independent eyewear buyer reception that is invitation only. If you are bringing buyers to the show or there are people that we need to know about that should be on that list, please let us know. That is from 6 to 8 on Thursday night. And then OWA is also doing their networking happy hour on Thursday as well, and that takes place at the Rosen Center pool. On Friday, we are really leaning into our new location with a tropical party. This is Calypso Band. You can see here it'll be very, very, very themed, very festive. And again, it's right after the floor closes and you're walking out of the convention center, and then there you already are at the Rosen Center poolside. I'm really thankful to the Optometry Divas also for bringing their event with us to Florida. And so you'll see them. They are also doing a networking event from 5 to 6. And now I want to focus on the new initiatives. I mentioned it a few times that the board really helped us focus in on what would be the most effective way to drive attendance and value to the show. And so we really do believe that we have an opportunity with the Southeastern market as well as the Caribbean and Latin America. And we have funded and continue to take nominations for our hosted buyer program. You can see on this slide, Sam Risley at Reed. He runs this. Please email him today if you have buyers that you want to host at this show. We will handle hosting them. We have approved a budget on the Vision Council side to do it, and Reed has also on their side put a lot of the additional margin from this show into investing in bringing buyers. So we have several nominations, but it is certainly not too late. And I will tell you that if you send them to us, we will make every effort to make sure that these people are treated with a VIP experience at Vision Expo. For the buyers, we also are launching something called a Platinum Club. Again, this is just another example of how we're able to do a food and beverage experience just better in Florida. And so this will be available to our VIPs. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the location. Again, I have mentioned we really want to do a great job in the Southeast. And Southeast Florida has a very high concentration of practices, we know. And so we did a partnership with the Bright Line. If you're not familiar, the Bright Line is relatively new, but it's a high-speed train service that will connect Miami up to Orlando. This is open to anyone who is registered for Vision Expo. However, it's only valid on the days of the show, and you can access it, tell your customers to access it through the Vision Expo site. Use code VISION to do it, and it will get them 50% off their business class ticket, depending on the time of day. I mean, that can be worth anywhere between $40 and over $80. But we think it's a great way for people to be able to bring multiple employees from their practices to get people in and out in one day or in just maybe overnight, but another attendance driver and something that we're really excited about for 2025, which is now. On site. So you can see this graphic, it kind of demonstrates our footprint in Orlando for Vision Expo. It honestly can't be easier for people to get from their hotels to the convention center and then out to the hotels for all of our events. And so you can see here, three of the hotels are within walking distance or connected by pedestrian bridges. And then we're also running shuttles. We're also doing more of a VIP kind of welcome experience. So when people arrive at the convention center, they'll be welcomed with complimentary juices. Our blocks are sold out, which is a great trend to have for our attendance. But there are still hotels in the vicinity that can accommodate you or your guests, and they're listed here. We are already looking at expanding our block for next year. So Visit Orlando gets hospitality and hosting really, really well, and they've been excellent partners. If you go to the Vision Expo website, also I would share that with your customers as well and your staff. There's a whole host of discounts and incentives to make the visit to Orlando more affordable, lots of perks. It's worth a visit, but just an additional value add that we're able to offer this year. All right. So I am going to ask Chelsea, Bonnie, and Suzanne if we have anything in the Q&A, and we'll do our best to answer questions.
Actually, we don't have any at this time. Any other ones that we have, we can always email them after. They can always email us, and we'd be happy to answer those, or we can email any of the others after the presentation today. They can reach out, or we'll reach out to them.
That sounds great. But you know what? There we go. Sorry, I just wanted to make I was like, something's missing. I know I said a lot of things, and I said there are still opportunities to be part of OTC Pavilion. There's still opportunities to be on some panels. We're still taking nominations for hosted buyer. This is your contact list. And so if you have any questions about the show, you can see Mitch and Suzanne from the Vision Council. Also, April Stackhouse, she is our brand new contact at Reed, our event vice president. And Kristen, you all probably know because she runs sales for Reed. But you can reach out to any of us. You can reach out to me as well. But I really do want to emphasize that we are doing everything we possibly can to make this a great experience. And I am really proud of the team for what they were able to put together to really improve the experience and ROI of the show. I think it's going to be a great one. But please feel free to reach out to anyone on these slides if you have any additional questions. I'm going through my notes again, but this could be it. If no questions have come through, then I'll go ahead and start thanking everyone. And any questions, Bonnie?
No, ma'am. That's it.
Okay. All right. I want to thank you all for supporting this show and being part of the Vision Council. And I look forward to seeing you soon. And it's going to be a great show. Thank you all.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Stop sharing.